Can you spot the domino fail? Let's see if you find it. What's up, Domino community, and welcome to episode 2 of Can You Spot the Domino Fail? Now, I'm going to break down a bunch of fails from my satisfying domino tricks with planks. I don't know if you could tell, but there were actually a lot of fails. I can't believe I'm gonna be admitting all of this. I'm about to roast myself right now. I'm gonna spill the beans and share with you what actually happened. So you can play along in this video, watch the clip, see if you can spot the fail, and then I will reveal it. So for this project, I wanted to make a giant tower where these domino lines just kind of spiral all the way around it until when it reaches the top, the dominoes fall inside the structure and then knock down the entire structure itself. Did you spot the fail? Did you see it? This is what actually happened. The red domino line just spirals all the way up this staircase, and it's going pretty well until it gets to the top, and then the black line doesn't get triggered. The domino fell and landed on top of the domino. It didn't tip over the domino. How is that even possible? Genuinely, it fell from like 4 feet high and it landed sideways on 2 vertical standing dominoes. Honestly, I was shocked. Did not see that coming. I knew it was gonna be risky, but I ended up just getting my can of air and pressing it to restart the chain. And I'm very happy that when the tower fell, it actually hit the black domino line, like in the right direction. That was a weird one. All right, moving on. See if you can spot this fail. So this was to test the lever chain going up a tower, which hits dominoes and then goes down, and then it knocks down this giant tower into the entire thing. Did you spot the fail? So let's watch the fail. Everything is toppling fine. It went up and then down, and the entire tower fell, but the black line stopped. Yeah. This was pretty ironic. The project itself worked. It was literally just this domino line. And looking back, I probably should have put the dominoes a little closer together and maybe added some barriers so that things didn't like knock over. But you know, I'm just glad the main project worked. See if you can spot this fail. So the idea for this one was to make towers fall in a way that at the end it forms a star. And I think it came out pretty cool, but did you see the fail? This one's a little tricky, okay? Let's replay it one more time. The red fell perfectly, went right into the purple, into the blue, then the black, which had a little delay, but then it stopped. The tower totally missed the herringbone chain leading to the orange tower. I think I just positioned the angle a little bit too off, so unfortunately it didn't trigger, but luckily I could just get my can of air and restart the chain that way. It's so unfortunate when it fails on the last trick. Like everything else worked up until that point. Has that ever happened to you? All right, next one. Let's see if you can spot the fail. This one was a combination of Sonomod and domino lines. And this one was really just to test triggering Sonomod and going from Sonomod back to dominoes using these planks. And did you see the fail? Okay, let's replay one more time. I'm really proud of this edit. I don't think anyone would have noticed, but it actually failed on this Sonomod line right here. The Sonomod just locked up because I think it was overhanging too far on it. I should have moved it closer to the edge. My trusty can of air came in very handy to restart the chain, and the rest of it worked perfectly. But let me just admit, this was not the first attempt. See if you can guess how many tries this one took. On the first try, the Sonomod literally just didn't even start. It literally didn't even tip it over, which was very weird. So I ended up doing some tests, and I realized that in order to trigger Sonomod with planks, it has to start with the second Sonomod that's on an angle. If you try to knock down that first horizontal one, the plank will just like tip over it without actually knocking it down. All right, moving on, see if you can spot the fail. This one I wanted to have towers fall into each other, but they gradually get larger. Did you spot the fail, by the way? You're gonna hate me. This was another trick question. This one actually worked. So the first try seems like it's going okay, but then we have an early trigger and the orange kind of gets moved out of place. Like if you watch in the slow-mo, the black hits the orange and makes it rotate it falls in a different direction. Also, the line just like stopped on the right side, so I guess I had to rebuild this one anyway. For the second try, I added some barriers so that the end wouldn't topple early, and I also changed the height of the towers so that it wouldn't topple into the next tower. But like you see here, it also failed. So if we play it back, it looks like when the blue tower fell, it knocked down this other piece backwards and it triggered the orange tower too early. The tower also kind of broke mid-topple. The tower should have tipped totally on an axis like this, but instead it just went like that and it wouldn't have reached the herringbone at the end. So that was another sign that I needed to fix something. So for the third take, I removed those vertical standing dominoes so that they couldn't topple back early, but then the orange one didn't topple. It seems like that should have worked, but like zooming in here, you see this? This plank is holding up the tower, this one plank. I think I needed to be more precise with the placement of those planks because they were still held in place and they should have fallen down. I ended up just tapping the tower to tip it over, but unfortunately that didn't work either. It also ended up breaking midway. For this one, I actually put the planks flat like this rather than sideways. And I thought that would maybe like hold the tower together better, but it still broke halfway through. But then I remembered something that Kaplan told me. He was saying that a tower that's about 1.5 meters tall needs to be built using a different technique, otherwise it will kind of break early. So I rebuilt it a 4th time, and you'll see here it's a wider tower, which will help it keep its shape as it tips over. And finally, this clip worked. It took 4 tries, but we got it. See if you can spot this fail. So this is testing the vertical lever chain inside of a domino wall, which gets knocked down by a big tower. Did you spot the fail? Okay, let me rephrase. Did you spot anything odd with this clip? Let me replay it one more time. See if you can spot anything peculiar. Did you see it? This is what happened. Let's zoom in on the spot on the right side of the wall. These black caplas just kind of fall and then disappear into nowhere. So in actuality, the black domino line got triggered too early, and the perfectionist in me was just like, I need to edit this. Like, the timing needs to look right. It's not gonna flow right from one clip to the next. So I did a little bit of masking to make it look like that domino line toppled a little bit later. It wasn't like a fail per se, it's more of like just a small impurity, I guess. I'm happy that the main trick worked. Let me know in the comments if any of these surprised you. I'm really curious to see if any of these were like totally unexpected or if you saw them coming. Even though there were a lot of fails, I'm still really happy with how this video came out. Like, I went into it knowing that this was going to be very experimental, and with every clip, I learned something from it. Even if it failed, even if it was multiple fails, there is something that I'm learning that I can take for the next project and make it even better. Just know that if your projects fail, it is okay. It is totally normal, and in fact, it'll actually make you become a better builder. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up for all of the fails. It would really make me feel better. But if you enjoyed this video, you can also check out episode 1 right over here. I also want to shout out our featured community member, Raken S. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'm Lily Hevish, and keep on building.